Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at a new skill and thought, I wish I had started 20 years ago? Maybe it's learning a new language, playing piano, starting a business, going back to school. And somewhere in the back of your mind, there's this quiet voice that says, maybe I'm just too old. Today, I want to challenge that, because the idea that your brain inevitably declines with age is incomplete. Your brain is not shutting down. It is remodeling. And if you understand how that remodeling works, you can learn almost anything after 50.
Welcome to In Good Company, Elder Care in Your Backyard.
In the 1960s, psychologist Raymond Cattell introduced a powerful distinction between two types of intelligence: fluid intelligence and crystallized intelligence. Fluid intelligence is raw processing speed, quick recall, fast pattern recognition, and mental agility under pressure. That tends to peak earlier in life. Crystallized intelligence, on the other hand, is accumulated knowledge, experience, context, deep pattern recognition, and that continues to grow well into later decades. If you are over 50, you are not operating a diminished version of your younger brain. You are operating a different model. The mistake most people make is trying to learn like they are 20. Late night cramming, marathon study sessions, trying to memorize everything from scratch. That approach works when your brain is optimized for speed. It does not work when your brain is optimized for integration. So the question becomes, how do we learn with the new brain we have now? There is a neuroscientific model called the scaffolding theory of aging and cognition. It shows that as we age, the brain compensates for slower processing speed by recruiting additional regions to solve problems. In simple terms, your brain builds scaffolds. It pulls in more networks. It becomes more interconnected. That means performance can stay high, but it requires energy. Which leads to the first principle of learning after age 50. Manage your cognitive resources. Strategy 1. Manage your energy. Most adults over 50 shift toward being morning focused. Researchers call this synchrony effect. Your cognitive performance aligns with your biological peak. For most people, that peak window is somewhere between 8 a.m. and 12 noon. So instead of forcing yourself to learn something complex at 9:30 at night, schedule your deepest work during your peak hours. Then use this simple rule: 40 minutes on, 10 minutes off. Stop marathoning. Start microdosing. Long study sessions drain neurotransmitters and create brain fog. Short cycles preserve clarity. And here's another key shift: cognitive offloading. Your work memory is small. Think of it like a workbench. If you overwork it, performance drops. Use a notebook, a digital app, a whiteboard. Write things down. Don't try to hold the entire process in your head. You are not weaker for doing this. You are strategic. Strategy 2. Relational learning. This is where your 50-plus brain shines. You have a library, decades of experience, knowledge, patterns. Instead of memorizing something new in isolation, connect it to what you already know. If you are learning coding, relate it to architecture. If you are learning the guitar, connect it to math or rhythm. If you're studying business, connect it to past leadership experiences. Your strength is not speed, it is synthesis. The real challenge: unlearning. Now here's the obstacle most people do not talk about. The challenge is not learning, it is unlearning. There is a concept called proactive interference. Old neural pathways are strong. If you have done something one way for 30 years, that pathway is still carved deep. When you try to do it differently, the old method keeps intruding. You say, I keep doing it the old way. This is not failure. This is neuroscience. So how do you interrupt that pattern? You create novelty. The pillar and playground method. Here's the framework. Split your learning into two parts: the pillar and the playground. The pillar. The pillar is one deep skill, something meaningful, something you care about, something worth mastering. It gets about 70% of your learning time. And the key is this: use your library. Connect new ideas to existing knowledge. This is what I call serial mastery. Over a lifetime, you build deep pillars sequentially, one area at a time. That creates resilience, adaptability, identity, depth. The playground. The playground is different. 2 low stakes, novel skills. They must be dissimilar from your pillar and from each other. If your pillar is writing a book, your playground might be water cooler or pickleball, or choir and video games. The goal is flexibility. Research from Dr. Rachel Wu shows that older adults regain cognitive agility when they learn multiple, dissimilar skills at the exact same time. It mimics childhood, when we are constantly exposed to unrelated challenges. The playground bypasses old neural paths. It reminds your brain what it feels like to be new, and surprisingly, that makes your pillar learning stronger. Prime the brain. Biology still matters. First, movement. Aerobic exercise releases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of it as fertilizer for new neural connections. 20 minutes of brisk walking before learning can prime your brain. Second, sleep. Deep sleep consolidates memory. Strategic napping in the early afternoon can help restore memory consolidation if nighttime sleep is lighter than it used to be. Third, environment. Old habits are triggered by old contexts. If you try to reinvent yourself in the same chair where you scroll social media, your brain defaults to old patterns. Create a dedicated learning space. Your brain associates location with identity. The NeuroRacer study. In 2013, researchers published a study in Nature using a multitasking video game called NeuroRacer. Adults aged 60 to 85 trained on it. Not only did they improve at the game, but their attention and working memory improved significantly, and those gains lasted for months. The aging brain can upgrade, but it requires the right kind of stimulus. The mindset shift. There is one more barrier: stereotype threat. If you believe the narrative that older adults cannot learn, that anxiety consumes working memory. Before you begin learning, take 5 minutes and write about something you deeply value: family, integrity, faith, creativity. This reinforces identity. It quiets fear and frees cognitive resources. A simple 30-day experiment. Do not overhaul your life. Run a pilot. Week 1. Identify your peak window. Week 2. Choose one pillar and one playground skill. Week 3. Practice your pillar during your peak hours for 40 minutes. Play in the playground for 20 minutes later in the day. Week 4. Reflect. Did you feel the energy difference in the morning? Did the playground feel like active rest? Treat it like data, not emotion. In closing, so, is it too late to learn? No. But you cannot learn like you are 20 years old. You must learn like you are 50 plus, with structure, with energy awareness, with depth, and with play. The door to grow is not closed. It is waiting for you to walk through it with a brand new strategy. This is Spencer Ernst, and you are never done growing. Thanks for being in good company. If you enjoyed today's conversation, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode.
And we'd love to stay connected. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and on Instagram at In Good Company Elder Care Podcast.
You can also find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at IGC Pod, and on TikTok at IGC Elder Care Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to In Good Company Elder Care in Your Backyard. I'm John Ray, and I've been joined by my amazing co-host, Spencer Ernst. Special thanks to our executive producer, Alex Wallace, for helping bring this show to life. Until next time, take care, and remember, you are always in good company.